Tiana Smith joining us. She's the Revenue and Project Manager for the City of Fort Collins, and we're here to talk about the marijuana taxes that have been collected by this city. Hey, Tiana, thanks for being here.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
When I first contacted you, I had the question on what will the City of Fort Collins spend marijuana tax money, and you said you can't really say for sure because it just goes into the general fund like the other sales tax. So there's no real delineation between marijuana tax money and tax money from other goods that have a sales tax.
I do think that that's an important distinction for people to understand, is that this money doesn't go into a separate pot, but it doesn't go into a separate pot of money that we then earmark to help with roads or bridges or parks or anything like that. It really just goes in with the rest of the money into the general fund and is spent accordingly.
So how much of the budget does the sales tax for marijuana represent?
It's less than 0.25%. It's very small in comparison to the rest of our budget.
Does the state take some, county take some, city take some? How does that all work?
The city gets 3.85% of it. The county gets 0.65% of it.
Okay. And
the state of Colorado gets 2.9% of it.
Overall, the number that the city of Fort Collins has collected from retail sales of marijuana since 2014 is $923,000?
In total since 2014.
Yeah, so
just for the retail.
Does medical make up a large?
Yeah, so medical, it's about $1.2 million in sales tax.
How many dispensaries does Fort Collins have?
Right now, for our medical dispensaries, we have 10, and for our retail, we have 7.
Is there an attitude about the marijuana sales tax? I mean, is it looked upon favorably?
I think we try to be unbiased in municipal government and, try not to pass judgment on those types of things as they come in. I wouldn't say that we look favorably or unfavorably towards it. There's certainly other things that we have to do that are a little different than other businesses in terms of the dispensaries and the recreation shops. So involving police services and the city clerk's office and how they actually issue those licenses and the regulation around it. So it is a little different than, say a restaurant or that type of store that comes in.
So there's added costs to make it happen.
There are.
Yeah, makes sense.
There are, but I do have to say that, the licensing fees that are associated with the marijuana shops, they cover those costs. And certainly we're, the additional police officer that is on staff for the marijuana, for the regulation piece of the marijuana shops, that's covered by the sales tax that's generated.
Did you do any special preparation in 2013 leading up to when you knew this would bring in some extra sales tax revenue for the city?
I think, at first we wanted to be sure when we were looking at the potential taxes that may be coming in from the recreational dispensaries and the medical dispensaries, we wanted to be sure that we weren't over-projecting what those sales were going to be. It was unknown when they were first approved, and so they didn't really actually figure into our budgeting process. We didn't want to be relying on sales tax that may or may not be there.
Okay, so, $135 million, I realize that that's not like a huge amount for statewide, but it seemed like it'd be better than not having it.
Yes, it certainly is. And so, and that's I guess what I meant when I said, we knew it was going to be above zero, so we knew it would be in the positive. And that certainly is, that always helps us in the overall numbers.
So we're not ready to pave the streets with $100 bills yet.
Right. Right.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate the opportunity to come on here and talk.